Hey guys, it's Feraligatr here, and I'll be bringing you another video today. Hope you guys enjoy it, and here we go. I do not own any pictures, information, the Pokemon franchise, or anything I show on my videos or that I mention. Everything is the property of their original owners. Thank you. So, today's video will be on number 160 in the National Pokédex, and that will be Feraligatr. It is also known as the Big Jaw Pokemon inside of the Pokédex. So first we'll start off with type analysis. It is only the water type, as it is a starter, and that does not really determine whether it's only one type, but it is only one type. Therefore, it cannot have any weaknesses or double weaknesses or double resistances. Unfortunately, it does not have any immunities as well. As for its weaknesses, it's just got electric and grass. Grass is not very common, but electric is pretty common, especially with Volt Switch all over the place, and especially on Volt Turn teams, it can be very, very dangerous, so make sure you do have a ground type on your team if you wish to prevent against Volt Switch, and Thunderbolt, of course. Sap Sipper is also helpful if you want to have the immunity to grass as well. As for its resistances, it is resistant to steel, fire, water, and ice. Ice and water is very helpful, as Hidden Power Ice Beam hits Garchomp, Landorus, a whole bunch of other stuff. And water, Scalds are all over the place. However, as Feraligatr is a physical attacker, you do not want that burn. Same for fire, you do not want any burns. However, honestly, the fire resistance won't help you that much. It is fairly common, however, like, for example, if you were to fight a Mega Charizard Wise full of Fire Blast, you cannot switch into it. Just saying. And plus, your water type moves will not do that much in the sun. His resistances also include steel, and steel is actually pretty helpful. You can take iron heads and stuff, but honestly, the people who actually use those steel moves are going to be pretty strong. So it is a very good resistance to have, but it may not always be used as well as you hope. As for its usage in Pokebattle and Showdown, its Showdown tier is never used, which is, it's really interesting considering that, I think he's pretty great. As compared to other NU Pokemon. I know most people run it in underused, but, just the ability to run it in never used is pretty interesting. Like, maybe at least put him in rarely used or something, but moving on to his PBV in Pokebattle, it is 130. The difference is staggering. So you got these Pokemon who are like 80 PBV in the never used, but then you have this guy who's 130 PBV, and other 130s include Charizard, non-Mega of course, Amistar, who is pretty good in rain teams, Weavile, which is actually pretty good countering those those Pokemon weak to ice types, which is it hits hard and it's really fast, especially with the Choice Band. Whimsicott with Prankster being super annoying, Xatu with a staple as a magic bouncer, Virizion who just happens to be a legendary, Arcanine who can pull off many different sets, hitting hard or Will-O-Wisp stalling, Trevenant who has Harvest to make sure that, you can run Chest of Rest, you can run Citrus Berry, you can run a whole bunch of stuff that can be really annoying. Registeel who is a very defensive legendary, same with Regirock. And then you've got regular Mawile who is still not bad. You've got Gardevoir, Donphan, who is a great spinner in my opinion, Cloyster, who is very underused, however, after Shell Smash it could completely rip through teams, and you've got Zoroark, the illusion Pokemon, who is so fun to play, and hits hard and fast. That's just the comic, why it kind of goes along with why is he bad when he is good, sort of. As for its stats, he's got 85 HP, 105 attack, 100 defense, special attack is 79, 83 special defense, and 78 speed, to make it a total of 530. That's okay, I suppose. His attack can be a lot higher, and Mega Feraligatr better having a higher attack. His defense is pretty good, especially because his speed is so bad. His stats are pretty mediocre, though. The only thing outstanding is his defense, which is pretty good, although 100 defense is not very good at all. However, it does help when your speed is low, and for a powerful attacker, 100 defense is very good. It's equal to Mega Pincers, who actually has pretty good defense. Most people don't think it's very defensive, but it actually is. So, yeah, high five. Now, here we go to his abilities. His abilities is iffy. I mean, he is a starter, so he does have Torrent. Basically what Torrent does is when you are at 1/3 health or below, then your water type moves do 1.5 times damage, and that is actually very helpful, but only if you're at 1/3 or below. But in competitive, there's not really much point in using this unless your other ability is trash. You rarely get a chance to really benefit from this boost, although 100 base defense really helps. Now, his hidden ability is very good. It's called Sheer Force, and it's what Mega Camerupt is going to be getting in this new game, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. However, it is unreleased. And basically what it does is moves with added effects, such as a flinch chance, a paralysis chance, a burn chance, something like that. It becomes more powerful by 30% on the cost of the effect's loss. So, it does provide some really powerful moves from maybe base 80s to a lot higher, and that is really useful for that extra power that Feraligatr really needs, as it only has 105 attack. This is totally awesome, and it's completely amazing, but it is unreleased, and that is just the sad thing. That's why Feraligatr is mad sometimes. And plus, he's a crocodile, so he should be mad, I guess. But here we go to some quote-unquote random Pokédex stuff. It is in the egg group of Water 1 and Monster. Its gender ratio is 87.5% versus 12.5%, which is female. Introduced in Generation 2, its Pokédex entry X. It usually moves slowly, but it goes at blinding speed when it attacks and bites prey. X on my location, none. So we'll get into sets now. The first and pretty common set actually on Feraligatr would be the DragonDancer. Most hold Life Orb because you cannot Dragon Dance when you have Choice Band, unfortunately. And you have to have the ability Torrent, unless you're playing like, I forgot what it was called, like Hackmons or something on Showdown. And for EVs, I would put 252 attack, and then 228 speed is pretty good to outspeed a lot of extra Pokemon, potential counters, and you put the rest in 28 HP, as running 252 speed does not really help because most Pokemon in between your 228 speed versus 252 speed are not really common, or there's no need to outrun them, or they're just a bunch of, like Pokemon in Little Cup, that sort of stuff. And you can choose to run Adamant or Jolly depending on what you want to, whether you want to have more speed or more attack. So basically what Dragon Dance does is it raises your attack and speed by 1 stage, which is pretty nice because it raises his horrible speed and it raises his decent attack to decent levels. So after you can get 2 off, it is very helpful. And basically your goal is to get 2 off. So if you can get 2 off, that is very helpful. And 228 speed really is only great with the Jolly nature, is only great if you can get a +2 in speed. So that helps a lot. And Waterfall is your main stab move, and if Sheer Force was there, it would get Sheer Force boost. Same with Ice Punch. Ice Punch and Earthquake take care of weaknesses to electric types and grass types. However, do note that Effect Spore is very annoying, and most electric types outspeed you. For other options, we do have other moves, and I'll get into that later, and basically you can use those moves as a replacement to Ice Punch or Earthquake. For team members, you want to run Heal Bell in case you do get burned, and also you want special attackers to hit those physically defensive walls, and screens really help, like Reflect and Light Screen, I believe. Those two really help to get you an extra Dragon Dance or 2. Fire types are very helpful, just because they have resistances. And Spikes is very helpful because of his low power moves. Just putting in Spikes there will really help him finish off any opponents. So your main threat would be Burn, because it will half your attack, so you gotta watch out for that. By breeding, just note that by breeding, you have a couple moves that you need to get, and that would be Ice Punch by breeding with a Bomb Snow, and Dragon Dance through Kingdra, Dragonite, and Hexorus. So you'll notice that this Dragon Dance set is a lot like Gyarados, actually, so why not Pokemon Fusion? Now this is the second set that most people actually do not run. It is a SwordsDancer set for Feraligatr, of course, and he holds the Life Orb because, again, you cannot run Choice Band SwordsDancer. So that part looks really confusing, but just know that the ability is Torrent, and we'll get into his EVs a little bit later after I kind of introduce the set. So, Swords Dance will boost your attack by +2. And then Ice Punch and Earthquake are again there for your coverage. And of course, Waterfall is your main stab. However, because you are not raising your speed, you may want to have Aqua Jet as a priority to hit those faster opponents really hard. But again, Sheer Force is the better set. Now, Aqua Jet is only from Clawitzer, or there might be a couple others, but I just decided to put Clawitzer. And if you remember, Ice Punch is from Abomasnow. Same threats, same team members. Remember, Heal Bell is good. You gotta have special attackers. Screens are very helpful. Fire types and spikes are very helpful. And then remember, Burn is very detrimental. So again, you have other options for moves. And now it also says EV Nature, and we'll get into that right now. As you noticed, I put 2 EV spreads, 248 HP, 252 attack, 8 speed, and 232 HP, 252 attack, 4 defense, and 20 speed. So basically what you're basically deciding is, what do you want more? If you run a Jolly Nature, you'll be able to put more EVs into speed so that you can invest more in bulk. If you run an Adamant Nature, you have to put more in speed, and you get less bulk, but you do get that extra power that Jolly does not get. So it's really up to you. Basically, if you want a little bit extra bulk, or if you want more power, I would personally go with Adamant. However, Jolly Nature is very helpful to outspeed some threats. I believe Jolly Nature still outspeeds more than that 20 base speed. However, I think that 20 base speed is like the minimum that you want to outspeed opponents in. So, yeah, so that's just Feraligatr using Waterfall, and that's basically your move on every single set. Now here is a set that I kind of created. It's a really gimmicky set, and basically it's called SleepingOnJob. And so basically you hold leftovers, and this is basically a rest talk set. And what it is basically you want to take advantage of that 100 base defense. So you can wall some of those physical opponents while I don't know, being annoying, I suppose. As for other options, you know, I haven't really experimented much in this. I think this is the best set, but honestly, you can really run anything you want. You don't need to run Toxic, you don't need to run Waterfall, you don't need to run Earthquake. Basically, you can do whatever you want except for Rest and Sleep Talk, basically. Otherwise, you'll be creating another set. So for his EVs, we maximize HP and defense, and of course, HP is 248 to take less from Stealth Rock, but that's just me. You can run 252 defense instead, or 252 HP instead. I decided to maximize his physical bulk with Impish Nature. However, you can try Adamant, and you could try Jolly, or whatever. But I don't think that Jolly is is what you want. I would go with Adamant if you really wanted to do anything different from Impish. So basically, what Waterfall and Earthquake is, Waterfall is more handy. You get stabbed, so you can actually do decent power. And honestly, Torrent is actually pretty helpful if you have Waterfall, because let's say your HP is going down, you have Sleep Talk, and you actually hit Waterfall, you can do some massive damage. So Torrent will be actually the best ability for this, not Sheer Force. Just because, well, there's not much point, because you want that extra power, because there's no other moves to take advantage of Sheer Force besides Waterfall. And even if you run Earthquake, then either nature sucks. So, so yeah, you can experiment any other options that you can try. You can try leaving them. Yeah, I mean, you can leave them in the comments below. Basically, what Toxic is to do is just to hit those walls that you can't hit with Waterfall and Earthquake, because it will not do too much damage. So let's say it's like Slowbro or something. Unless it's like a Rest Slowbro or Heal Bell set, like Heal Bell and another Pokemon, then Toxic is gonna really cripple it. As for other team members that you want to use, Earthquake or Fighting is very good, because if you notice over there it says threats. Empoleon is a threat because Waterfall cannot touch it, and neither can Toxic, so that's just a huge threat. Or you can choose to run Fire and Electric partners to take care of Skarmory, who walls if you use Earthquake. Roost helps a lot, actually, to hit him with Earthquake, but I believe you're faster. So anyways, yeah. Also, Air Balloon Heatran is really annoying if you run Earthquake, so make sure you watch out for that. Air Balloon steals, basically. Also, hazards can be very detrimental to your HP, and also, I'm not sure why it says ghosts there, but just scratch that. Heal Bell is kind of cool if you don't want to stay sleeping. I just thought that would be interesting because you could get rid of your sleep whenever you want and rest again. But, yeah, that guy does not look like he's sleeping. So here are the extra moves that I talked about before. You've got Crunch. You've got Dragon Claw. Those are two pictures that I found that seem to fit those two moves. And also you got Bulldoze, which is pretty nice. Got an old dinosaur there. Dinosaur version of Feraligatr. And basically what Crunch is, it does get a sheer force boost if it is ever released, and it also gets a -1 defense chance. It provides dark type coverage, so you can hit psychics and ghosts. Dragon Claw is pretty handy just because it can hit anybody, but you don't really get much coverage because it's not super effective against anything except other dragons, and you might as well just run Ice Punch for that, you know? Bulldoze is handy because if you are running a set, then it can lower their speed as they come in, allowing you to possibly outspeed them. If you do decide to run Bulldoze, you may want to run more speed EV so that you can hit more Pokemon. Sorry, guys. The picture there is a Feraligatr using Ice Punch. So here's time for trivia. It is the tallest water starter at 7 foot 7 inches. That is tall. It evolved earlier than any other starter form. You know, other starter forms like Blastoise, Samurott, you know, like those. I think it also includes other types as well, so maybe like Torterra. Also, Totodile evolves the latest, which is Totodile is Feraligatr's lowest evolutionary form, but it evolves the latest, whereas Feraligatr evolves the earliest, which is kind of weird. Tied with Turtwig, and it also has the same base stat total as Blastoise, kind of how we talked about starters. Has the same base stat total as Blastoise, and is the only fully evolved Johto starter in Pikachu's Adventure in Pokepark, which is a side game, spin-off game. Also in Gold and Silver, it had the same shiny and regular sprite. That was changed in the next games. So here's the origin. That's the comic on, that's more like it, you're like a water Charizard. But his origin was probably based off of a Feraligatr. Its name was between Ferocious and Alligator. Ferocious Alligator, Feraligatr. And is visually an alligator, as I said. And also some extra is that Gator is from the 10-character limit in Gen 3. So its name actually was cut off because you can only have a 10-character limit. So they had to make a Gator instead of Gator. Does that even make sense? I mean like G-A-T-R and G-A-T-E-R. So that concludes this video, and thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe if you like these videos, and I hope you liked it. If this helped you out, leave a like and a comment below if you want. Any other sets that you can think of, you could definitely leave them in the comment section below. And enjoy. Thanks for watching, guys.